He wasn't supposed to be here. Nobody picks a quarterback in the 6th round and expects a savior. Nobody watches a skinny kid from California struggle for 2 years on the bench and thinks, dynasty. But April 16, 2000, the phone finally rang. Pick 199. The New England Patriots took a chance on Tom Brady, and the rest of the NFL didn't even notice. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. was born August 3, 1977, in San Mateo, California. 4th kid. Raised in the shadow of Candlestick Park, watching Joe Montana throw lasers for the 49ers. His family wasn't rich, but they were loud, Italian, Catholic, and obsessed with sports. Tommy had 3 older sisters who made him tougher than any linebacker could. He learned early, you fight for everything. But football wasn't his first love. Baseball was. Tommy Brady was a left-handed catcher with a cannon arm. Scouts circled him like sharks. The Montreal Expos drafted him straight out of high school. Professional contract, guaranteed money. The dream most kids would kill for. But Brady said no. Because football, that was his obsession. Even when no major college wanted him. Even when he sat on the bench for 2 years at Michigan. Even when NFL scouts wrote poor build, lacks mobility in their notebooks. He kept playing. He kept playing, kept believing. And in 2000, the Patriots gave him a shot. I'm the best decision this organization has ever made. That's what he told owner Robert Kraft the day he was drafted. 6th round, pick 199. The skinny kid nobody believed in was about to prove them all wrong. High school was supposed to be his breakout. It wasn't. Junipero Serra High School, San Mateo. Brady rode the bench for 2 years. Freshman year, he didn't even dress for games. Sophomore year, back up to a quarterback who wouldn't sniff college football. He wasn't fast. He wasn't big. And when he finally got his shot as a junior, he still wasn't the best quarterback in his own conference. I didn't know how to put the pads on when I tried out for freshman football. I went on the field and I was like, I'm going to get killed out here. But he had something nobody could teach. Work ethic. He watched film until his eyes burned. Threw footballs until his arm ached. Hired a private coach to fix his footwork. Every Sunday, he invited receivers to his house. His mom made sandwiches. They sat in the living room analyzing film, breaking down routes, obsessing over details most high schoolers ignored. By senior year, Brady put up decent numbers. Over 2,100 yards, 20 touchdowns. Solid, not spectacular. But on the baseball field, he was a monster. Power hitter, rocket arm, scouts everywhere. The Montreal Expos offered him a contract, a guaranteed future, real money. Most kids would have signed immediately. Brady didn't even hesitate. No, because football was the dream. But here's the problem. Nobody wanted him. UCLA offered a scholarship, then pulled it for another kid. USC didn't even return his calls. He sent highlight tapes to over 100 colleges. Most never responded. Then Michigan called, 7th-string quarterback, bottom of the depth chart. But it was Division I. It was a chance, and Tom Brady never needed anything more than that. Michigan was supposed to change everything. It didn't. Brady arrived in Ann Arbor in 1995 as the 7th quarterback on the depth chart. 7th. He redshirted his freshman year, barely practiced, never played. Watched from the sidelines as Brian Grace led the Wolverines to a national championship. While Grace held trophies, Brady held a clipboard. My freshman year, I redshirted, never played, barely practiced, but I learned a lot. Most players would have transferred. Brady worked harder. He met with a sports psychologist to sharpen his mental game. He studied film like it was scripture. Every snap, every read, every mistake. He memorized opposing defenses. He threw thousands of passes until his mechanics were perfect. And by his junior year, he finally earned the starting job. But Michigan still didn't trust him. The coaches constantly rotated him with Drew Henson, a 5-star freshman recruit who was supposed to be the future. Brady would start, Henson would finish. Brady would lead a draw, Henson would get the glory. It was humiliating, disrespectful. But Brady never complained. He just kept playing. He sat down right in front of my desk and said, "Coach, I'm not going to leave, and I'm going to prove to you that I'm the best quarterback." And he did. 20 wins, 5 losses, 10 game-winning drives. His final college game was an Orange Bowl thriller against Alabama. Overtime, Brady threw for 369 yards and 4 touchdowns. Michigan won. Brady proved himself. But NFL scouts? They weren't impressed. Poor build, average arm, slow feet, system quarterback. The draft was 3 months away, and nobody was calling. Draft day, April 16th, 2000. Brady waited and waited and waited. Round 1 passed, round 2 passed. Quarterbacks went off the board. Chad Pennington, Giovanni Cremazzi, Chris Redman, T. Martin, Mark Bulger, Spurgeon Wynn. 6 quarterbacks, none of them named Tom Brady. He sat in his parents' living room, watching the TV, phone silent. His family tried to stay positive. His dad paced. His mom made food nobody ate. And Brady just stared at the screen, feeling his dreams slip away with every pick. Poor build, skinny, lacks great physical stature and strength, lacks mobility and ability to avoid the rush, does not throw a really tight spiral. System-type player who can get exposed. That's what the scouts wrote. That's what NFL teams believed. Round 3, round 4, round 5, still nothing. Brady's agent started making backup plans. Maybe the CFL, maybe arena football, maybe baseball wasn't such a bad idea after all. Then, pick 199, 6th round, New England Patriots. The phone rang, Bill Belichick's voice on the other end. "Tom, we just made you a Patriot." Brady's hands shook, his mom cried, his dad exhaled for the first time in hours. But Brady, he wasn't relieved, he was furious. 6 quarterbacks taken ahead of him. 198 players deemed better. Every team that passed on him, every scout who called him too slow, too weak, too average. He remembered every single one. "I'll never forget being drafted in the 6th round. That's always going to stick with me." 3 months later, Brady walked into the Patriots facility for training camp. 4th-string quarterback. Nobody expected him to make the roster, but when he met owner Robert Kraft, he looked him dead in the eye and said something nobody forgot. "I'm the best decision this organization has ever made." September 23rd, 2001. Everything changed in one hit. Drew Bledsoe was the franchise. 10-year, $103 million contract. Face of the Patriots. The guy who made New England football relevant again. Brady, he was the backup nobody thought about. 4th-string rookie turned 2nd-string project. He held clipboards, studied film, waited. Then week 2 happened. Patriots versus Jets. Bledsoe dropped back to pass, scrambled right, and Jets linebacker Mo Lewis delivered a crushing hit. Bledsoe crumpled, internal bleeding, collapsed lung, rushed to the hospital. Drew probably liked the challenge of making the Patriots and NFL football relevant in New England, and it really all started with him. Brady got the call, 2nd quarter, down 10-3, his first real NFL action. He was nervous, shaky, threw an interception. The Patriots lost. Some looked down on him, but still nobody expected much the next week either. But Brady started studying, obsessively. He watched every snap, every defense, every tendency. He worked with offensive coordinator Charlie Weiss, breaking down coverages until 2 a.m. week 3. Brady started against Peyton Manning and the Colts. Lost again. Week 4, lost to Miami. The Patriots were 0-2 with Brady under center. Critics sharpened their knives, put Bledsoe back in. But head coach Bill Belichick saw something nobody else did. Composure, intelligence, ice in his veins. And then Brady started winning. Week 5, week 6, week 7. The wins piled up. By the time Bledsoe was healthy enough to return, the Patriots were 5-3 and climbing. Belichick made a decision that shocked the NFL. Brady stays. Bledsoe sits. This is not about sports anymore. This is about a man's livelihood, his family. The controversy exploded. How do you bench a $103 million quarterback for a 6th-round nobody? But Belichick didn't care about contracts. He cared about winning. And Brady was winning. January 19, 2002. The Snowball, the game that changed everything. Patriots versus Raiders, AFC divisional playoffs. Foxborough Stadium was a frozen hellscape, wind howling, snow falling sideways. The field looked like a skating rink. This was supposed to be Oakland's night. They were favored by 3 touchdowns. Brady was just a kid in his first playoff game. Fourth quarter, Patriots down 13-10, less than 2 minutes left. Brady dropped back, pump faked, then tucked the ball and tried to run. Raiders cornerback Charles Woodson blasted him. The ball popped loose. Oakland recovered. Game over. Except it wasn't. The refs huddled, reviewed the play, and then came the call that would haunt Brady's career for decades. After reviewing the play, the quarterback's arm was moving forward. It is an incomplete pass. The tuck rule, an obscure NFL rule that nobody understood and everybody hated. Brady's arm was moving forward when he lost the ball, so technically it wasn't a fumble. It was an incomplete pass. Patriots kept possession. That was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life. Oakland was furious. Fans screamed robbery. The media exploded. But the call stood. Brady drove the Patriots down the field through a blizzard, and kicker Adam Vinatieri nailed a 45-yard field goal to tie the game. Then in overtime, another kick. Patriots won 16-13. Brady had survived, but the controversy was just beginning. Critics said he got lucky, that the refs handed him a win, that he didn't earn it. He'd hear that his entire career. System quarterback, lucky, protected by the rules. But 3 weeks later, he'd have a chance to prove them wrong. Super Bowl 36, Patriots versus the heavily favored St. Louis Rams. The greatest show on turf. Nobody gave Brady a chance. Nobody except Brady. February 3rd, 2002. Super Bowl 36. The biggest upset in NFL history. The St. Louis Rams were unstoppable. Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt. They averaged over 30 points per game. The greatest show on turf. Vegas had them as 14-point favorites. This wasn't supposed to be a game. It was supposed to be a slaughter. Tom Brady was 24 years old, second-year player, 6th-round pick. Nobody. He'd only started 14 games in his entire career. And now he was standing on the biggest stage in sports, facing a Hall of Fame quarterback and an offense that couldn't be stopped. The first half was a war. Brady wasn't flashy, but he was efficient. Short passes, safe throws, no mistakes. The Patriots defense hit Warner so many times he probably forgot his own name. And somehow, impossibly, the game was tied 17-17 with 1 minute and 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Most coaches would have played it safe, run the clock out, go to overtime. But Belichick looked at Brady and said something that changed everything. "We're going for it." Brady took the field with 81 yards to go and no timeouts. The Rams expected him to panic. He didn't. Completion, completion, completion. 5 yards here, 7 yards there. Methodical, surgical, ice cold. With 7 seconds left, the Patriots were at the Rams' 30-yard line. Vinatieri trotted onto the field. The kick sailed through the uprights. Patriots 20, Rams 17. Confetti fell. Brady stood in the middle of the field, 24 years old, looking around like he couldn't believe it. Super Bowl champion. Super Bowl MVP. The kid nobody wanted had just beaten the greatest offense in football. Tonight, a dynasty is born. But even then, people doubted. System quarterback, game manager, lucky. He'd have to prove himself again, and again, and again, for the next 20 years. The dynasty wasn't built overnight. It was built through repetition, obsession, and pain. 2002, the Patriots missed the playoffs. Brady threw for over 3,700 yards, but the team went 9-7. Critics sharpened their knives again. One-year wonder, he got lucky. But Brady didn't respond with words. He responded with work. He studied defenses until his eyes burned. He threw passes until his shoulder ached. He eliminated junk food, refined his diet, hired personal trainers, and turned his body into a machine. Then 2003 happened. Patriots went 14-2. Brady threw 23 touchdowns. They steamrolled the Eagles through the playoffs and faced the Carolina Panthers in Super Bowl 38. Another last-minute drive, another Vinatieri kick. Patriots 32, Panthers 29, ring number 2. At 26 years old, Tom Brady has won 2 Super Bowls, but he wasn't done. 2004, the Patriots went 14-2 again. Brady threw for 28 touchdowns and just 14 interceptions. Playoffs were a massacre. They destroyed the Colts, crushed the Steelers, then faced the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 39. Brady threw for 236 yards and 2 touchdowns. Patriots 24, Eagles 21. Ring number 3. Back-to-back championships. 3 rings in 4 years. A dynasty. At 27 years old, Brady had already accomplished what most quarterbacks dream about their entire careers. But something else was happening off the field. Brady was becoming famous. Not just football famous, celebrity famous. He dated actresses, he appeared on magazine covers. He became a brand. And in 2009, everything changed when he married Brazilian supermodel Gisele Bündchen. Suddenly, Tom Brady wasn't just a quarterback. He was Hollywood. Red carpets, fashion shows, TB12 method, avocado ice cream. The grinder from Michigan was now a global icon, and people hated him for it. He's too perfect, too pretty, too rich. The narrative shifted. Brady wasn't the underdog anymore. He was the villain, the golden boy who had everything. And when the Patriots went 18-0 in 2007, the hatred reached a boiling point. Everyone wanted to see him fall. 2007, the perfect season, the perfect collapse. The Patriots were unstoppable. Randy Moss, Wes Welker, an offense that looked like it was playing a different sport. Brady threw 50 touchdowns in an NFL record. They scored 589 points. They demolished every team they faced, 16-0. The first perfect regular season since the 1972 Dolphins. This is the greatest offense in NFL history. The hype was suffocating. Brady was on every magazine cover, every talk show, every billboard. The Patriots weren't just winning, they were destroying. And America hated them for it. Spygate had just broken. Allegations that Belichick was filming opposing team signals. Cheaters, liars. The Golden Boys weren't so golden anymore. But Brady didn't care about the noise. He had one goal, 19-0, perfect season, perfect ending, Super Bowl 42 against the New York Giants. The Patriots were 12-point favorites. This wasn't supposed to be close. First half, the Patriots dominated, but the Giants' defense kept fighting. Fourth quarter, Patriots up 14-10, less than 3 minutes left. Giants had the ball. Quarterback Eli Manning dropped back, scrambled, somehow escaped 3 Patriots defenders, and launched a prayer downfield. Wide receiver David Tyree jumped. Patriots safety Rodney Harrison was all over him. The ball should have fallen incomplete, but Tyree pinned it against his helmet, caught it, first down. One of the most improbable catches you will ever see. 4 plays later, Giants scored. Patriots 14, Giants 17. 35 seconds left. Brady had time for one last drive, but the magic was gone. Incomplete, incomplete, incomplete. Game over. Confetti fell, but not for Brady. He stood on the sideline, helmet in hand, staring at the scoreboard. 18-1. The perfect season shattered by a helmet catch. The greatest offense in history couldn't score 20 points. Brady walked off the field in silence. No interviews, no excuses, just the weight of knowing that perfection slipped through his fingers. And the critics, they celebrated. Overrated, system quarterback. He's not clutch. He'd hear that for years. The helmet catch became his scar. But scars have a way of making you stronger. The pain didn't last long. Brady turned it into fuel. 2008 started with promise. Week 1, Brady looked sharp. Then Week 1 ended with disaster. Kansas City Chiefs, a routine play, and Bernard Pollard dove at Brady's knee. The sound echoed through the stadium. ACL tear, MCL tear, season over. That's the worst feeling I've ever had on a football field. Critics celebrated. He's done, 31 years old, knee injuries end careers. But they didn't know Tom Brady. He rehabbed like a maniac. 6 hours a day, 7 days a week. No shortcuts, no excuses. And when 2009 arrived, he came back stronger. Threw for 4,398 yards and 28 touchdowns. The Patriots went 10-6, but no Super Bowl. 2010, no Super Bowl. 2011, they made it back to the big game against the Giants. Same ending, another loss. 21-17, another Eli Manning miracle, another February heartbreak. Then came 2014, Malcolm Butler's interception against the Seahawks. Ring number 4. Brady was back on top. At 37 years old, he proved he could still win, but the celebration was short-lived. January 2015, AFC Championship game. Patriots destroyed the Colts 45-7, but after the game, whispers started. The footballs felt soft, underinflated. 11 of 12 Patriots footballs were below the legal PS win limit. Can you answer right now, is Tom Brady a cheater? I feel like I've always played within the rules. DeflateGate, the scandal exploded. Investigator Ted Wells released a 243-page report. It is more probable than not that New England Patriots personnel participated in violations of playing rules. Tom Brady was at least generally aware. The NFL hammered down on him. 4-game suspension, $1 million fine for the Patriots, 2 lost draft picks. Brady appealed, he fought, he took it to federal court. But in 2016, the suspension was upheld. A federal appeals court has ruled that Tom Brady must serve a 4-game suspension. 4 games, not for performance-enhancing drugs, not for violence, for allegedly being generally aware that footballs might have been slightly deflated. The punishment felt excessive, vindictive, a statement. But Brady didn't crumble, he got angry. And when Tom Brady gets angry, the rest of the NFL suffers. 2016 Brady's revenge tour. But first he had to watch from home. Jimmy Garoppolo started the first 2 games. Won both. Then Jacoby Brissett started. Once again, the Patriots were 3-1 without Brady, and whispers started. Maybe they don't need him. Maybe it really is Belichick's system. Week 5, Brady returned, and he was furious. He threw for 406 yards against the Browns, then 376 against the Bengals, then 295 against the Steelers. Game after game, he carved up defenses like he was possessed. The Patriots went on a tear. By the end of the regular season, they were 14-2. Brady threw 28 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions in 12 games. At 39 years old, he looked better than ever. But behind the scenes, tension was building. Jimmy Garoppolo had shown real potential during Brady's suspension. Belichick saw him as the future. Brady saw him as a threat. And team owner Robert Kraft was caught in the middle. The greatest coach of all time wanted to move on from the greatest quarterback of all time. This isn't just football. This is ego, power, legacy. The divide was growing, but Brady channeled everything into the playoffs. They steamrolled the Texans, destroyed the Steelers, and then came Super Bowl LI. Atlanta Falcons. The high-powered offense led by Matt Ryan, the league MVP. February 5th, 2017, Houston, Texas. The game started as a nightmare. The Falcons jumped out to a 21-3 lead, then 28-3 in the third quarter. Brady couldn't get anything going. Interceptions, sacks, pressure everywhere. The Patriots looked dead. If we lose this game, this will be the play everyone remembers. On the sideline, Brady's face was stone. His mother, Gallon, was in the stands. She'd been battling cancer, undergoing chemotherapy, and hadn't been able to attend many games that season. But she was there that night, watching her son face the biggest deficit in Super Bowl history. And then something shifted. Brady's eyes changed. He stopped forcing, started trusting. Short passes, one completion after another. Methodical, surgical. The Patriots scored, 28-9. Then again, 28-15. The Falcons started panicking. Fourth quarter, Brady drove down the field. Touchdown, 2-point conversion, 28-20. The comeback was real. Less than a minute left. Patriots got the ball back. Brady needed a touchdown just to tie. He marched them down the field. Completion to Amendola. Completion to Edelman. Then the catch. Julian Edelman, surrounded by 3 Falcons defenders. somehow pinned the ball between his hands and his shoe, inches from the ground. One of the greatest catches in Super Bowl history. How did he catch that? 4 plays later, James White, touchdown, 28-26. 2-point conversion, 28-28, overtime. The first overtime in Super Bowl history. Patriots won the coin toss. Brady took the field, and this time there was no doubt. Completion, 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 surgical precision. The Falcons' defense was exhausted, broken, defeated. Patriots drove down to the 2-yard line. Toss sweep right for James White, cuts it upfield, driving forward, diving to the goal line. Touchdown, Patriots 34, Falcons 28. The greatest comeback in Super Bowl history. Led by the greatest quarterback, Brady fell to his knees, confetti rained down, and then he ran. Not to his teammates, not to the trophy, to the stanchion, to his mom. Gallon Brady, fighting cancer, weak from chemotherapy, wrapped her arms around her son. And Brady, the unbreakable football icon, became Tom, the son. Tears streamed down both their faces. This wasn't about football anymore. This was about family, love, survival. You dedicated this game to her. She's got to be beyond herself right now. Yeah, they're all happy, so it's nice to have everybody here, and it's going to be a great celebration tonight. Ring number 5, more than Joe Montana, more than Terry Bradshaw. At 39 years old, after DeflateGate, after the suspension, after everyone said he was done, Brady proved he wasn't just great, he was the greatest. But even then, doubters remained. He needs Belichick, he needs the Patriots system. The question lingered. Could he do it without New England? He'd get his chance to answer, sooner than anyone expected. The cracks were already showing. 2017, Brady won his 3rd MVP at 40 years old, led the league in passing yards. The Patriots went 13-3, but behind the scenes, the Brady-Belichick-Kraft triangle was fracturing. Belichick wanted to trade Brady and build around Jimmy Garoppolo. Kraft refused. So Belichick traded Garoppolo to the 49ers instead. The message was clear. This was Brady's team, whether Belichick liked it or not. Super Bowl 52, Patriots versus Eagles. Brady threw for 505 yards, a Super Bowl record. But they lost 41-33. Another ring slipped away. The dynasty was aging. Gronkowski was breaking down. Key players were leaving. And the tension between Brady and Belichick was suffocating. 2018, the Patriots clawed their way back, beat the Chiefs in overtime in the AFC Championship, faced the Rams in Super Bowl 53. A defensive slugfest. Patriots won 13-3. Ring number 6. Brady was 41 years old, the oldest quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl, but it felt hollow, cold. Brady barely smiled during the celebration. Belichick barely acknowledged him. The greatest partnership in NFL history was dying. 2019 season started rough. The offense struggled. Brady looked frustrated. The Patriots went 12-4 but lost in the wild card round to the Tennessee Titans. And after the game, Brady walked off the field knowing something nobody else did yet. He was done. Not with football, with New England. March 17, 2020. The announcement that shocked the world. I don't know what my football future holds, but it is time for me to open a new stage for my life and career. Tom Brady was leaving the Patriots. 20 years, 6 Super Bowl rings, 9 Super Bowl appearances, the greatest dynasty in sports history, over, just like that. Where's he going? He's 42 years old. He's retiring, right? Wrong. 2 days later, Brady signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that hadn't made the playoffs in over a decade, a team that had never had back-to-back winning seasons. And critics laughed. He's crazy. He'll regret this. He needs Belichick. Without the Patriot system, he's nothing. Brady heard every word, and he smiled. Tampa Bay, 2020. Brady arrived in Florida with something to prove. At 43 years old, he was the oldest starting quarterback in the NFL. The Buccaneers hadn't won a playoff game since 2002. They had talent, young weapons like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, but they were sloppy, undisciplined, and used to losing. Brady changed that immediately. We're going to have to work as hard as we can to see what we can become. No more excuses, no more losing culture. Brady brought the Patriots' intensity to Tampa. Film sessions until midnight, extra throwing sessions after practice. He FaceTimed with receivers during quarantine, throwing routes in empty parks. He turned a team of underachievers into believers. The regular season was rough at first. Interceptions, mistakes, chemistry issues. But by December, they clicked. Finished 11-5, made the playoffs as a wild card, and then Brady did what Brady does. Wild card round, destroyed Washington 31-23. Divisional round went to New Orleans and beat Drew Brees 30-20 in his final home game. NFC Championship, traveled to Green Bay in the frozen tundra and dismantled Aaron Rodgers and the Packers 31-26. 3 road playoff wins. And suddenly and possibly the Buccaneers were going to the Super Bowl at home in their own stadium. First team ever to do it. February 7th, 2021, Super Bowl 50, Tampa Bay versus Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, the young superstar, the heir apparent, the future of the NFL. This was supposed to be the changing of the guard. Mahomes with his second ring, Brady riding off into the sunset. It wasn't even close. The Buccaneers defense demolished Mahomes, pressured him on every snap, hit him relentlessly. And Brady, he picked apart the Chiefs' defense like he was reading a children's book. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, surgical. Final score, Buccaneers 31, Chiefs 9. Ring number 7, at 43 years old, with a new team, in a new city, without Belichick, without the Patriots system. Brady had just silenced every single critic who ever said he was a product of New England. He's got 7 rings in 10 tries. He became the first quarterback to win a Super Bowl with 2 different teams. He became the oldest Super Bowl MVP ever. And he proved once and for all that greatness isn't about the system, it's about the man. He should have walked away. 7 rings, nothing left to prove. But Brady came back for 2021. At 44 years old, he played like he was 24, threw for 5,316 yards, the second most in NFL history, 43 touchdowns, led the league in passing yards and completions. The Buccaneers went 13-4. Brady was playing the best football of his life in his mid-40s, while most people his age were thinking about retirement parties. How is he still doing this? The TB12 method, avocado ice cream, pliability training, no nightshades. Brady had turned his body into a science experiment, and somehow, impossibly, it was working. He wasn't just competing with younger quarterbacks, he was outplaying them. But the playoffs were different. Divisional round against the Rams. Brady threw for 329 yards, led a comeback to tie the game late in the fourth quarter. But Matthew Stafford drove the Rams down for a field goal. Buccaneers lost 30-27. Season over. Brady walked off the field, knowing this might be it. The magic couldn't last forever. His marriage to Giselle was strained. She wanted him home, wanted him to retire, wanted him to be a father, not a football player. The choice was looming. February 1st, 2022, the announcement. I've done a lot of reflecting the past week and have asked myself these difficult questions. I'm going to retire for good. The world exhaled, finally. After 23 seasons, 89,214 passing yards, 649 touchdowns, 7 Super Bowl rings, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, 3 league MVPs, 15 Pro Bowls. Tom Brady was done. The greatest quarterback ever was walking away. 40 days later, he unretired. These past 2 months, I've realized my place is still on the field and not in the stands. Giselle was furious. The marriage crumbled, but Brady wasn't ready to let go. He came back for 2022. The Buccaneers went 8-9, missed the playoffs. Brady looked mortal for the first time in decades. The offensive line was terrible. The receivers couldn't get open, and at 45 years old, even Tom Brady couldn't carry a broken team. February 1st, 2023, exactly 1 year after his first retirement announcement. I'll get to the point right away. I'm retiring for good. This time, it stuck. Tom Brady was done. and the football world didn't know what to do without him. So how good was Tom Brady? The question that haunted him for 23 years finally had an answer. The numbers are absurd: 89,214 passing yards, 649 touchdowns, 7 Super Bowl rings, 10 Super Bowl appearances, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, 3 league MVPs, 15 Pro Bowls, most career wins, most playoff wins, most fourth-quarter comebacks. The records go on forever. But stats don't capture Tom Brady. They never did. Brady wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the strongest. He didn't have the biggest arm or the quickest feet. What he had was something you couldn't measure: a refusal to lose, a need to prove everyone wrong every single day. He was picked 199th and never forgot it. Every quarterback taken ahead of him, every scout who called him too slow, every critic who said he was a system player, every person who doubted him fueled him for 23 years. And when he finally left New England and won a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, he silenced the last argument. It wasn't Belichick, it wasn't the system, it was him. It was always him. At the end of the day, he's the standard. Every quarterback who comes after him will be compared to Tom Brady, and they'll all fall short. But the cost was real. His marriage to Giselle ended in divorce. His relationship with his kids suffered. He missed birthdays, holidays, moments he'll never get back. Football took everything from him, and he gave it willingly. In 2024, Brady was inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame. The crowd chanted his name. Former teammates embraced him. Belichick shook his hand, their feud finally buried. And Brady stood at the podium, 47 years old, no longer a player, just a man reflecting on a life spent chasing perfection. I don't know if I ever found it, perfection, but I spent every day looking. Tom Brady's legacy isn't just the rings or the records. It's the idea that greatness isn't given, it's earned. Through hours nobody sees, through pain nobody understands, through a refusal to accept anything less than everything. He wasn't supposed to be here. A 6th-round pick, too slow, too weak, too average, but he became the greatest to ever do it, not because of talent, because of will. And that's the story of Tom Brady, the kid who was never good enough, who became too good to ignore.